Call to order regular town council meeting, March 24th, 2022. Welcome, everyone. Tonight's a special night because it's the first time that we'll be broadcasting on Facebook and our YouTube channel, so that's kind of exciting. So next time, if you don't want to be here, you can check us out on Facebook. So the only thing is, on Facebook, we won't be monitoring our comments. So just keep that in mind. They won't be answering any questions while on Facebook. But we'll be checking it out, and if there are questions, we'll try to follow up, or we'll have staff follow it up. So with that being said, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Kinzinger.
Present.
Councilmember Dickinson.
Here.
Councilmember Hepperly.
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher.
Present.
Councilmember Packard.
Present.
Vice Mayor Hunt.
Here.
Mayor Palguda.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'd like to welcome down Pastor Mike for our invocation. Welcome, sir.
I give honor to my Savior Jesus, and I give honor to the mayor and his wonderful staff. Bless you. Let us pray. Father God, we want to thank you first of all for protecting our nation. And also, God, I want to ask that you put a hedge of protection around Ukraine. Father, I come this morning to pray this evening to pray according to your will. Father, you told me to pray for fresh oil upon the mayor's head. Father, you said that oil runs from the head down. So I pray this morning, Lord, that you put oil on the mayor's head. Father, that this fresh oil would contain discernment. Father, I pray that the oil that runs down off of the mayor's head would contain power. Father, I pray that the oil that runs down off of the mayor's head, who is the head, that it would contain vision. Father, I pray that you would send him laborers. Father, I pray that you would send people to hold up his hands. Father, I pray that you wouldn't just send people that would work with him for a paycheck, but Father, you would send those who were vested in his vision. Because God, you said there was power in agreement. Father, I come this evening to pray according to your word. Father, your word has all authority. You said in your word that you would give wisdom liberally to him who asked. I ask for wisdom in this meeting, oh God. Yes, Lord. Not by my might, not by my power, but I pray through your Holy Spirit. Father, I'm asking that your spirit would permeate this meeting. Father, that you would send a spirit of revelation. Father, that you would give us a spirit of knowledge. Father, that you would give us a spirit of understanding. And when it's all said and done, Father, we would have a powerful and productive meeting this evening. Oh God, I pray this in the precious, mighty, mighty name of Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. Everybody in the house say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Let us, where's the flag, man?
Right here, sir. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Mike, thank you, sir. As always, amazing job. Folks, moving right along. Item 3, proclamation. First one up is National Service Recognition Day.
Whereas service to others is a hallmark of the American character and central to how we meet our challenges, and the nation's cities, towns, and counties are increasingly turning to nation service and volunteerism as a cost-effective strategy to meet their needs. And whereas the AmeriCorps participants address the most pressing challenges facing our communities, from educating students for the jobs of the 21st century, to fighting the pandemic, to responding to natural disasters, to supporting veterans and military families. And whereas AmeriCorps and Senior Corps participants serve in more than 45,000 locations across the country, bolstering the civic, neighborhood, and faith-based organizations that are so vital to our economic and social well-being. And whereas National Service represents a unique public-private partnership that invests in community solutions and leverages non-federal resources to strengthen community impact and increase the return on taxpayer dollars. And whereas National Service participants demonstrate dedication and patriotism by making an intensive commitment to service that remains with them in their future endeavors. And whereas AmeriCorps share a priority with local leaders nationwide to engage citizens, improve lives, and strengthen communities, and is joining with the National League of Cities, the National Association of Counties, Cities of Service, and local leaders across the country for National Service Recognition Day on April 5th, 2022. Now, therefore, I, Kelpo Guda, Mayor of Prescott Valley, Arizona, do hereby proclaim April 5th, 2022 as National Service Recognition Day and encourage residents to recognize the positive impact of national service in our community, to thank those who serve, and to find ways to give back to their communities. Thank you.
All right. I will keep this short and sweet. On behalf of Arizona Serve, and more importantly, the many AmeriCorps volunteers kind of working in the region, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity and this recognition. For those who don't know what we do, Arizona Serve, basically what we do is we connect community members like yourselves with nonprofits in the area so that you guys can find passion projects or like social issues where you really want to work on, and you can work with those nonprofits in a way that's financially feasible. So, for example, one of the big ones and most recent ones is we've been working with Prescott Valley Schools and also Yavapai County Health Services in this area. So yeah, on that note, once again, thank you.
Next up, National Library Week.
Whereas libraries are accessible and inclusive places that foster a sense of connection and build community. Whereas libraries connect people to technology, providing access to broadband internet, computers, and training that are critical for accessing education and employment opportunities. Whereas libraries offer opportunities for everyone to connect with new ideas and become their best selves through access to multimedia content, programs, and classes, in addition to books. Whereas today's libraries and their services extend far beyond the four walls of a building, and everyone is welcome to use their resources. Whereas in times of crisis, libraries and library professionals play an invaluable role in supporting their communities both in person and virtually. Whereas libraries strive to develop and maintain programs and collections that are diverse as the populations they serve and ensure equity of access for all. Whereas to adapt to our changing world, libraries are expanding their resources and continuing to meet the needs of their patrons. Whereas libraries have long served as trusted and treasured institutions for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender, identity, or social economic status. Whereas libraries are cornerstones of democracy, promoting the free exchange of information and ideas for all. Whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers are joining the library supporters and advocates across the nation to celebrate National Library Week. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Kelpo Guda, Mayor of the town of Prescott Valley, proclaim April 3rd to the 9th as National Library Week and encourage all residents to connect with their library by visiting online or in person to access resources and services.
I'll keep this short and sweet as best I can. We're obviously very passionate about the library that we have here in our community. Libraries are a staple of any community, and as such, this library plays a very important role in the public services that we provide to our citizens. Libraries connect people to electronic and printed materials, connect people with the information on public services that are available in their area, excuse me, access to computers, the internet, and other technology. We offer classes, programs, events, and services for all the citizens that live and work in this great community to enjoy. Libraries offer new adventures and a safe place that allows everyone the freedom to read without censorship through a diverse collection of materials from all viewpoints that is curated by a passionate staff. We provide early literacy programming, technology assistance, and lifelong learning opportunities for all ages. Libraries aren't just a box of books. They're an ever-evolving resource staffed with friendly, professional, and knowledgeable staff that are always looking for ways to improve our offerings to this community. I know a lot of people always say it, but the staff here in this building, as well as the volunteers, are special. As Pastor Mike had said, hopefully everybody who works here is vested, and I can tell you 100%, everybody in here is looking for ways to assist our citizens. They're amazing people. So with that, I'd like to call the staff down from the library and any volunteers in here. Let's take a picture and make sure you get out to the library for National Library Week. Check out some of the new stuff and enjoy our building.
Now I'll welcome up Marnie Yule and the Chamber of Commerce presentations.
I'll just shout out to the library, too, because I love our library. So thank you, Bobby, and congratulations, everyone. I'm Marnie Yule, of the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council members. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Business Academy graduates that we just finished up our 15th Business Academy class this past Tuesday. We started the program in 2008 as a way of combining business education courses into one series. And to be honest, I kind of stole the idea from Ryan and your Citizens Academy that I participated in 2006. So in 2008, we started our Business Academy. And this year, we graduated our 148th participants. So that was amazing. So we're really pleased with the program. We hold it every January on our shoulder season. It seems right after the holidays. It's a little bit quieter for us, if quiet is a word in our vocabulary. And then we have the 8-week course and finish up in March. And we go on to the holidays. So I have 5 participants here today that I'd like them to step up here and to introduce them to you. And then also, as you see the picture on your screen, that's the complete class that graduated on Tuesday night. And then I will mention the ones that were unable to be with us tonight. So if I could have my Business Academy graduates up, and all 5 of you. And then just one at a time, go ahead, step up and introduce yourself.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello, I am Shauna Makaba. I'm here with Trevor as well for Good Samaritan Society, which is on Windsong here in Prescott Valley. And I also am an upcoming entrepreneur here in the area, and I'm going to be getting into real estate investing here. So I love the Business Academy. I also recently did the Citizens Academy, so we did them back to back, Trevor and I, and we both really found a lot of value in both of the programs. I at least am familiar with everybody up here, so that's nice. And yeah, so Good Samaritan Society, and we were really happy with both of the academies. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Trevor Guthmiller with Good Samaritan Society. I'm the administrator. We're located on Winsong Drive. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. And we do long-term care and short-term rehab. And we think we have the best skilled nursing facility in the region. Want to thank Marnie and everybody for putting together this class. It was a great job. Sean and I have been here for a little less than 3 years, and we're trying to learn as much as we can about this great community so we can be educated and good participants and citizens. And thank you for your service to our community as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Hi, thanks. I'm Corey. I have a drone service business, Atomic Drones. I specialize in doing marketing and promotional aerial photos and videos. And I do want to thank Marnie and the Chamber for the class. It was awesome. And thank you all.
Thank you.
Who likes barbecue? Logan Roberts here with the Squealing Hog, Smoke Needs and More Barbecue. We're located on a Robert Road and Pecos. You all should know where that is. In the parking lot of Barefoot Bob's Billiards. We've been there a year and a half. I always tell my employees I know it all, but I've learned something new every night during that class. So here at the class you all put on is probably just as well. Probably should attend that too, because I'll learn something there. Thank you, Marnie. Thank you, Council, for what you do.
Thank you, sir.
I got something for y'all. Actually, I'm going to give these to Mayor Cal.
Thank you, sir.
No, you have to pass them out, Mayor Cal.
I can't just keep them all.
You must share. We know you like the barbecue.
Been there many times.
Hello, everyone. I know all of you, thankfully. But I was really excited to, working for the Chamber, be able to take the Business Academy class, not only to learn a little bit more about business, but also be able to really promote this for future members that, join the Chamber and be able to speak to what it is that we teach them every week. So I was very excited to be a part of that.
And I do want to mention just the few that were not able to attend. What is interesting is the diversity of businesses that we have that participated. Lisa and Stephen Bruner from Mobility Plus, Kelsey Ann Gould, KG Photography, Matt Haynes with Matt's Magic Hands Massage, Angel Lopez with Bead Tail Mobile Wash and Wax. Then we had Michael Schuster with the VFW Post 10227, and Jordan Woodburn with All Affairs Contracting. And then also Katie Swan from my office, our membership services manager, went through the course very similar to Kim to be able to better speak to what we do and the services we provide to our chamber members. And I know that Katie will be starting the Citizens Academy next week, and then Kim to follow in the fall. So again, well-rounded staff that's operating in the Chamber of Commerce, but we couldn't do it out with our members. So thank you again. And thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Next up, item 4B, Bradshaw Mountain High School Students of the Month. Is it a little warm in here, folks? Yeah?
Right. Bradshaw Mountain High School Student of the Month for February and March. The town of Prescott Valley, in collaboration with the Optimist Club of Yavapai County and Bradshaw Mountain High, are honoring these outstanding students: Megan Cage, Keenan Rivera, Alexa Medina, and John Schmidt. We're recognizing these students because of their school and community engagement. They've been nominated by school staff and instructors at Bradshaw. Congratulations. They have each prepared a short to medium length biography, I've heard, and we're missing Megan, is that correct? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Alexa.
All right.
Tiptoes.
All right, thank you. Okay, sorry, I'm a little nervous. Good evening. My name is Alexa Medina Martinez, and I am a senior at Bradshaw Mountain High School. I am very honored to be receiving the award of Student of the Month. I am grateful for the recognition I have received for my hard work. Over the last 4 years, I have worked very hard for my accomplishments. I have respected my teachers, staff, and fellow students and taken pride in my school. My involvement in the community started my freshman year of high school when I joined the Interact Club, which is a community service club intended to benefit our school, town, and county. I have also recently joined Real Hope, a nonprofit organization that provides food to those in our community. We work with local churches, government, and private sectors to accomplish the mission. You might have seen us at the Pruitt or Toyota Center parking lots on Saturday mornings giving out food and occasionally clothes. I am also a member of the nationwide Link Crew. We are the upperclassmen crew that helps incoming freshmen feel welcome to our school. Before the school year even starts, we contact future students, give tours, and organize activities for freshmen. This year, I have participated in Freshman Orientation, the Harvest Fest, and Future Freshman Night. I was also a part of DECA, which is a club for students interested in going into the business for a career. The students of the club compete in region, state, and national competitions. My first year as part of the team, my partner, Emily Sotelo, and I placed first in the region for hospitality and management. As DECA left our school and FBLA was introduced, I was determined to succeed in my future events. FBLA is a national group for future leaders of America who plan on going into a business field. This year, my partner and I placed second for our event. Second place was not expected, but now we can prepare and dominate the competition on April 2nd at the University of Arizona in Tucson. I decided to join Yearbook. I am in charge of many sport pages and activities at school. Yearbook required me to stay after school for several hours to get that special shot for the pages. I am grateful to be part of a club that creates a book for the students that they will cherish. I have played soccer all 4 years of high school, and it has taught me how to maintain my school life and my athletic career. Soccer truly impacted my life by creating lifelong memories with my team, pushed me to my physical limits, and made my mental health stronger to be even more competitive. I have received a high honor roll for 7 out of 8 semesters in high school. I have taken 3 advanced placement classes, 7 pre-AP classes, and by the end of this year, I will have completed 2 full semesters at Yavapai College, all while maintaining the GPA of a 3.5 or higher throughout my years. As my high school career is coming to an end, I have put a lot of thought into what my next step is. I have been accepted to all private universities and 1 private university in Arizona. I have also been accepted to many out-of-state universities and have been offered many scholarships. But after careful consideration, I have decided to attend Yavapai College for associate's degree in business and transfer to the University of Arizona for my bachelor's degree in architectural housing design. I am honored to be in a community and a school system that recognizes the hard work and dedications of the students. I would like to thank my parents for raising me to be leaders and help others, not only in the community, but also to my younger sisters and cousins. And I will always be grateful for their sacrifice and support. Thank you to my family who have shown me support by showing up and giving me advice I will always use. I would also like to thank the teacher who nominated me for this award, Mrs. Perpich. Without you noticing my hard work, this would not have been possible. And also to all the teachers who have made me a better person and made my high school years more memorable. Lastly, I would like to thank God for guiding me through my struggles. Again, it is a privilege and an honor to have received the Student of the Month. Thank you and have a good night.
I'm so happy to hear you're going to stay in Arizona, at least for now. Hopefully we can keep you as long as possible. And Keenan.
Hello, my name is Keenan Rivera, and right now I am currently a senior in high school. And I would like to thank all the staff and the principal as well for giving me this award, because to be honest, I thought this would be the last award that I would ever get. But I'm actually happy that I received this award as well, and for my teacher, Miss Russell, that nominated me. So I would like to go over my years and experience over my high school and what I encountered and the struggles that I went through and how I overachieved them. So freshman year would be my first ever year to be in this campus. There's other high schools that were offered to me. However, I did choose this school because of the many opportunities that I saw and all the leadership skills that I could probably earn as well. So entering this year, I was nervous, I was scared, but a new experience, and I got to be a freshman. A joke intended, just kidding. And First thing I did was join the swim team because in my previous school I did not do sports at all. I did not participate as much, so I was like, hey, might as well give this a shot. And now going to my senior year, this was my last year and getting second in the district. And like I said, I love sports so much, and I really do love my swim team, and I'm going to miss them when I do end up leaving. And then freshman year, like I said, it was just opportunities, goals, and the amount of clubs, sports, and education that I could get was just unlimited. Going to my sophomore year, I go into the JROTC club and class as well, which would be to motivate me to become a better citizen myself and to show leadership skills and attributions into other classes and on the outside world as well. Going into this class, I wasn't expecting much, but now I am the lieutenant colonel, which, like I said, last thing I expected it to be, but my teacher saw leadership in me, and I decided to gain the upper hand and wanted to go for that rank and then become the best leader that I could be, raising car washes, if you saw at Jiffy Lube, and then doing community services, donating clothes to, we did food drives, donated clothes to what I believe is going to be a homeless shelter in the following months right now. And like I said, it's the best experience ever, best club that I've ever been in. And then going into the sophomore year, this would be the real struggle when we entered spring break and would not come back, as COVID-19 did hit that year. And like I said, no one expected it, and just the end to that spring break and the end to that summer. Going into junior year, it was all online classes, which should have been easy, but this is the year that my motivation was kind of lost, because for me, this was the year of questions, and many other students, questions of college, questions of your future, where you want to be. But like I said, for me, it's just I lost motivation because I did not know what I wanted to do in the future. And I just let myself down in that year. And same thing, JROTC class, I was letting myself down. My swim year was my worst year ever. And yeah, and I didn't know if I could ever make a comeback. And my teachers saw this as well. All my teachers, they saw me as a good student, and they saw me failing, and they saw me not doing it as much as I could. And like I said, that's why I didn't expect to get this award at all. And then entering my senior year, which would be this year, my final year, there's a spark in me that I had. All my teachers, my new teachers, they did not know me whatsoever, but they knew that I was a good student. And so going into this year, I was, like I said, I didn't really care, was not motivated whatsoever. But then something lit up in me. All my teachers said, the main focus for me was graduation. Graduation. You have to graduate. And I don't know why, but I did not think of the graduation and the amount of years that it took me to get to this moment. At least 13 years now, just working, and why would I give up now? My teacher is asking, you have so much work. You have to just do it. Just go through it. And now I'm top leadership in my JROTC class and did the best I could in swim season, the best I could, and then joining the Interact Club as well with a few of my friends, and then gaining leadership and doing more community service hours. And like I said, this was the best year I have, and right now I'm just really appreciative of the school that I went to. And now I'm nearing my graduation with all my credits due and having straight A's this year. And right now I'm just waiting to walk across the aisle being proud that I was a Bradshaw Bear.
Can I just point out, I think you had that whole thing written down, and you never looked at it a single time. Didn't slip up, never said a single That was amazing. And Mr. John Schmidt.
I'm John Schmidt. I've been enrolled at Bradshaw Mountain High School for 4 years now, and to say that it's been an interesting time would be an understatement. My freshman year didn't start with orientation, nor the day before school when we gathered to be guided around by upperclassmen. My freshman year really started when our middle school percussion section got our audition music to join the high school. See, all middle school percussionists are required to audition along with high schoolers. Percussionists don't play a single instrument. This is evident most especially in the marching season. Percussion during marching band is split into 2 separate groups, drumline and front ensemble. Drumline involves things like with battery percussion. They're the ones who march, who play cadences in the stands and rile up the crowd. They're the snare drums, bass drum, tenors, and cymbals. On the other hand, there's front ensemble. We play the more stationary, hard-to-move instruments. We're the marimbas you see on the 50, the gong, the mallet, and auxiliary percussion. My audition went really well. I got placed on xylophone my freshman year, and the season was a massive success with, quite frankly, really impressive scores. Freshman year was sort of a blur, though. I was taking pre-AP courses at the time, and I maintained a 4.0 GPA for both semesters. And despite the extremely tough hit I took for my first finals, I managed to get a 4.0, and I even took some private lessons in the meantime to try and improve my skill. Sophomore year rolled around, and I had been named section leader for the year. It was my job to keep people on task, help those who were struggling, and deal with administrative jobs, such as like keeping the instruments well maintained, getting lists of materials needed, and much more. It was a hard year. The season ended with respectable scores. However, they weren't as high as the year before. On top of that, I was taking my first true AP class, AP World History and Modern, and the work was incredibly tough. And just the amount of content which you needed to memorize was astounding to me. And right when I thought that the year couldn't get any tougher, we didn't come back from spring break. The ending of that year was one of online conversations, moderate energy, and frankly, inactivity. I scored a 4 on my AP test and maintained a 4.0 GPA. I achieved my goal of getting my section through marching season. I was even accepted into a local branch of the math honorary Mu Alpha Theta. However, it never really felt like much of an accomplishment. Junior year started in a similar way. We were online for a significant portion of the year. We didn't even have a true marching season, as the organization that hosted competitions had shut its door for the year. I cruised through the year, once more getting my 4.0s and above, but that sense of accomplishment was still missing. And so this year began. And to say that I've crushed this year so far would be an understatement. We had a real marching season. I even brought up my complaints how the prior band director had done things with the new one, which we had this year, and things changed for the better. Our scores as a section completely made a freshman, other than me, as our singular senior, had topped what we achieved freshman year. I've been taking more AP classes than ever, and I truly feel ready for my tests this year in comparison to those of last. I'm maintaining my 4.0 GPA easily. I've been accepted into the University of Arizona's Honor College even, and I performed with the Yavapai College's Symphonic Orchestra this year, last semester. I've done a lot this year, and I'm proud of myself. So thank you for this award.
That is a level of confidence we should all be striving for. Principal Brett Dahl.
Thank you, Moy. No applause. Just again, a broken record. I have the best job in the world. I get to hang out with kids who amaze me every single day. Council, I so appreciate, and Mayor, I appreciate you guys inviting us here and letting us showcase what our community has produced. It's a group effort, so thank you so very much. It's hard to condense all the things that they do into a very short thing. So I have kudos to all of you guys. I'm so proud of you. Thanks for representing us and our community, the town of Prescott Valley so well. We're super proud of you. And I am with Councilwoman Heberly. Please stick around. Like our community needs your leadership. So thank you.
And Optimus Secretary Treasurer, I get it wrong every time, Secretary Treasurer Mike Whiting.
Okay, folks, you'll be glad to hear this is the last you'll hear a talking face as far as Student of the Month. But it's worth it, isn't it? We've heard Yes, please. We heard about a spark that one of our students talked about, and I think all four, or all three, probably four as well, have sparks in them or they wouldn't be here. I could go through my high school experience, and I don't think any of them, freshman through senior, would be anything close to what they've experienced and what time and effort they put in commitment. So I'm looking forward to them in our community, and I'm proud of them, at least two of them that are considering going to the U of A. You know what they say there is bear down, and they are playing basketball tonight, so wish them luck in the final, not the Final Four, Sweet 14, Sweet 16. Yes, indeed. But we're all proud of you, as you heard from your principal, and we know that you're making your parents proud, and I'd like just to recognize parents or relatives to any of these students up here to please stand for a minute so we can say thank you as well. You did a great job, and so without any further talking, I'd like to give a little memento to each of the students here tonight in terms of their Student of the Month. 2 are February and 2 is March. We had to consolidate this time, and I'm sorry that it may have taken a little longer than we usually take with the council, but I think it was worth it. We'll go ahead and give them their certificates, and then we'll give them the last send-off. Human beings. So, one last applause for our students. Thank you.
Moving on, item 5, call to the public. At this time, members of the public may comment on matters listed on the agenda or solely on matters within the jurisdiction of the town. Any persons wishing to address the council must complete a speaker card located inside the entrance of the council chambers and deliver it to the town clerk prior to the commencement of the meeting. The council's response is limited to responding to criticism, asking staff to review a matter commented upon, or asking that a matter be put on a future agenda. Such remarks shall be limited to 3 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. Clerk?
Robin Davis. Please come forward.
Welcome, sir.
Well, this is my first town council meeting, so I appreciate you letting me come and voice a few concerns that I have tonight. My name is Robin Davis. I live at 6041 North Viewpoint Drive here in Prescott Valley. I've lived at that address for about 7 years now and love where I live, love the town, love everything about the community. 2 concerns I'd like to express to the town council tonight. The first one is noise problems from a business that is located at Prairie and Roundup, and it's some kind of party venue that creates a lot of noise and goes into the late hours of the night. I've actually had to call the Prescott Valley Police Department a few times to get that shut down. So I would just like to work with someone and see if we could work some kind of a compromise out with that business to the hours that they're operating and the noise level that they are contributing to the neighborhood. Second concern I have is the new road, the Viewpoint drive-through, the connector road, or whatever you want to call it, that was put in the last 2 years. And I kind of speak for myself and also my immediate neighbors there. We really haven't had closure as a neighborhood about some of the concerns that we have with the connector road. One of those concerns is safety. There's a safety issue there that needs to be addressed. The people that don't drive, they miss the curve off of Roundup onto Viewpoint, and most of the time they drive right past our houses, which there's no marking there or no signs or anything. So that's a problem, a safety issue. I share that with my neighbors as well. There's a drainage problem still that exists after the road was completed. Water that comes off the neighborhood from rains does not properly drain into the drainage area that was set up during the project. And then the third part of it is just the way that our property was left after the completion. I don't even know if the project's completed yet, but like there was a lot of damage done to our yards and property. I'll just leave it at that and say that there wasn't closure ever done. No one ever contacted us and said, are you satisfied with the job? Is there anything that we can do to clean it up, make it better, make you as neighbors happy about the road? I want to say that I do appreciate the road. The road is terrific, and so I thank you for that.
No, if you have anything else, sir, you can keep going if you would like. You all set?
Yes.
Okay. Well, sir, thank you for coming out. I believe the clerk, do you have his information for Mr. Davison?
We got
Sir, someone from staff will be definitely reaching out to you. Clerk?
Pete Walter. I have a Pete Walter.
He just walked down.
Look like he's out there? No?
Gone. Looks like.
He just walked down.
Anyone else, clerk?
No, no one else.
Okay. Well, moving on. Item 6, council communications. Councilman Kinzinger, would you like to start us off?
I would just like to give kudos out to the water department. The town of Prescott Valley receives recognition for water system management, and this is a designation given to the community's water system with no violations for a set period of time. So with their diligent meeting of all the monitoring and reporting, they now will be doing a 5-year versus every 3-year inspection. So I think kudos go out to them, and thank you very much, and that's all I got.
Councilman? Vice Mayor?
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Couple things. I did a council chat with Archer Bikes, and you can view that either on my Facebook page or on YouTube. And our YouTube channel is Prescott Valley, all one word with the number 1 after it. So Archer Bikes is a fairly large sales tax generator in town, so I want to make sure people knew about them. They also employ at least 6 people and are very community oriented. They're in the Home Depot Center by Popeye's Chicken and soon to be Crumble Donut. So stop by if you're in the market for a bicycle. I also want to announce that the Relay for Life feeder event is May 7th, and the feeder event this year is a car show for Relay for Life, which is the cancer program. We're looking for 10 sponsors. We have about 5 right now. So if you're interested in being a sponsor of the car show for Relay for Life, what they're going to do is they're going to do a car cruise, and they're going to stop at each of the parking lots for a little while, and it's going to be great fun. And then the actual Relay for Life event is June 3rd, which is a Friday night, and it goes overnight because cancer doesn't sleep. I know my husband is a 2-time cancer survivor, and we're going to participate. So if you want any information on Relay for Life, please reach out to me. And then I also wanted to give a shout out for the spring cleanup this year, which is May 14th. It's a Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we're doing it in conjunction with our friends and helpers here from the chamber. Thank you, ladies. And then my final comment is on the consent calendar, which is an appointment to the Parks, Arts, and Recreation Commission. My colleagues here, council members Kinzinger and Packard. Sorry, Don. Recommend Carrie Ingerson, who is a 7th and 8th grade social studies and English teacher at Glassford Middle. She also is an actress. She's probably directing Mamma Mia right now as we speak. And she and her husband are actually both teachers. So she applied to be a commissioner, and by unanimous recommendation tonight to council, we recommend Carrie Ingerson for a position with a renewal date of June 30th, 2023.
Councilwoman?
And I also have a new council chat up on the YouTube page, which again is Prescott Valley #1 with no spaces. And I am speaking with Water Resources Manager John Munderloh about all of the work that the Upper Verde River Watershed Protection Coalition is doing for natural recharge within our aquifer, the Prescott AMA, as well as the Big Chino Subbasin. So it's a long one. It's 30 minutes. Of course, John brought slides, and so there's visuals. It's very exciting. Thank you.
Councilwoman?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I know that Fatima has been recognized in the newspaper and elsewise, but we want to recognize her this evening. Our Prescott Valley Town Clerk, Fatima Fernandez, has earned her designation of Certified Municipal Clerk, which elevates her within that area, and we want to give her all an applause for making this very high achievement.
Thank you.
We're very, very proud of you, and we expect big things from you now. Also, the Yavapai Communities for Kids is having a pinwheel party Saturday, April 30th from 11 to 2 at the Prescott Valley Civic Center lawn here in Prescott Valley. At 11 a.m., we will plant 3,000 pinwheels. The blue pinwheel is the national symbol of healthy, happy children. The event will feature a zany balloon artist, a fire truck, fun activities, and tables with resource information from local family service organizations. And parents who fill out a resource passport will be entered into a raffle for prizes. Families are encouraged to bring a picnic lunch they can enjoy together. So put that on your calendar. Pinwheel party for Saturday, April 30th from 11 to 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to just go in reverse for just 1 second, sir. I believe you wanted to speak during Call to the Public. You're more than welcome. Welcome, sir.
My name is Pete Walter. I'm from Prescott, Arizona, and I normally don't have this problem. A little bit of my background: I'm a Vietnam veteran Marine. I am currently the Public Service Officer for the Disabled Veterans Chapter 16, which covers Prescott Valley. I am a private veterans advocate. I work with veterans, mostly the older ones, helping them with the websites and stuff like that to help them get their medications. I'm also a typewriter technician. I think I'm the last one. And it's rather amazing. I get them shipped from all over. I do most of the political signage that you'll see in many of the regions. I go as far south as Anthem when we were down there, and I do the Verde, and I go out to Baghdad, and I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I try very hard to be conscientious about each community. I try to meet with their code enforcement and their town attorney, which I did meet with Mr. Legler. And I have also already spoken to Mr. Davidson. I know personally and have worked with Councilwoman Dickinson and Mr. Packard. And so what I would just like to do is revisit some of the ordinances relative to the 501c3s, the college, some of the, like the job fair. Some of the ones that I put up were the job fair. I put up the Life, I can't always remember their name, Life Connections Pregnancy Center. I actually put it up for Mamma Mia. I took care of them. And so what I'd like to do is be able to inform this community of the events and some of the necessary things that they may need, like a job, by the use of banners. I know that political signage and banners are two different things from the state on down. But I would like to be able to just revisit that. I'm very careful about each community. I personally banned political signs in downtown Prescott before there was a rule where you could ban political signs in downtown Prescott. I told the property owners I will not accept any political signs on your property because it's right around the square and it's in the ingress and egress. So I just wanted to possibly spend some time discussing this with the town manager to see if we could come with some kind of agreement where some of these banners could get up. Yavapai College was stunned that their banner was taken down before the job fair. The pregnancy center was stunned that their banner was taken down. And I didn't know what to tell them. I just had to say, look, this is what the ordinances say. And so I'm just hoping that somehow we can have that. Thank you very much.
Staff, will you have his contact information as well? Sir, someone will be reaching out to you, and we appreciate you coming down. Thank you. Now moving on to item 7, manager's report. Mr. Davidson.
Mr. Mayor, no formal report other than it was awesome to hear from incredible students that were selecting the premier university in our state, the University of Arizona. And go Cats, bear down tonight. We have a very important game tonight. That's all.
All right, moving on. Consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately for discussion and possible action. Council, we have had a chance to review consent agenda. I would be looking for a motion if we have no questions.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda by electronic vote.
I'll second. Clerk, please call the.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you. Moving on to item 9, zoning map change, ZMC 21-004, Crown Point Apartments. Consideration and possible action for a second reading. Mr. Gonzalez, welcome. Council, as you may remember, Mr. Gonzalez presented to us 2 weeks ago in regards to this project. During that time, if you have any questions for Mr. Gonzalez, or I believe there's a representative here as well.
That is correct. Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. I believe there was a question in regards to the number of units that are going in there. Thankfully, I had GIS or Larry Prentice put this map together for me, and it actually shows the approved number of units that I've gone out there. Market Street Bungalows has 112. Crown Point Lofts, 96. The Terrace at Glassford Hills, 290. That's actually total of 580 that have been approved. Tonight we're considering the Crown Point Apartments with 84 additional. That'll bring that total of 682 apartment units for that area. I know there's questions in regards to traffic and safety, and like I said, the applicant is here. I've had a discussion with them. They have stated that part of their traffic analysis did encompass, I believe, this Crown Point Lofts as well as part of their Crown Point Apartments. But the other ones were not taken into consideration, and I'm sure the applicant can speak to that a little further if you wish to.
Council, while Mr. Burgoy is coming down here, do we have any questions for Mr. Gonzalez?
I have a question with reference to the half street improvements. I understand that one of the half streets is actually Crown Point itself. Is that correct? Crown Point Street?
I believe so.
And I was wondering where the other half street is?
Good question. I unfortunately don't know the answer to that. But maybe the applicant can correct me and actually speak to that.
Mr. Burgoy, come on up, please. Welcome, sir.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, good evening. The question about half street, is it, and maybe I'm not following
the half streets, I understand that there are 2 of them. They're referred to as half streets rather than a full street. And the Crown Point Street is a private.
It is, yes, it is a private street.
Is that what they consider a half street?
Yeah, maybe the terminology evades me, but
Is it safe to say it's not your terminology that was used? It was
yeah,
part of the staff package.
I'm not sure where it came from, but
Well, listening to the Planning and Zoning Committee
Yeah.
commission meeting, they referred to 2 Half Street improvements that will be done during
Okay.
this period of time.
Well, what I can comment on as far as improvements is the street is built to town standards, so it's not a substandard street by any means. But as a result of the traffic study, there will be stop signs put in at the intersection up with Market Street. Now, when we hit Market Street, that's Town Street. So recommendations were made about the parking on that and distance from the intersection. And the same with Crown Point, that no parking would be on Crown Point.
No parking signs, you're saying?
Correct. No
would be
parking
placed
signs.
there?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the half street, I'm sorry, kind of evades me a little bit.
We'll just have staff address it next time they come.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. We'll make a note of it.
Anything else?
No.
From Mr. Bourgois? If not, clerk.
Ordinance number 2022-898. An ordinance of the mayor and common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending the town zoning map CMC 21-004 by changing the zoning classification of 3 parcels comprising approximately 4.4 acre from C2PAD Commercial General Sales and Services Planned Area Development to RSPAD zoning Residential and Services Planned Area Development for the Crown Point Apartments, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Clerk, shall this ordinance pass?
That passes 6-1, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, zoning map change ZMC 21-005, Caliber Collision. Consideration and possible action for a second reading. Mr. Gonzalez.
Mayor and Council, I have no further comment on this project unless you have any questions.
Council, we have any questions for Mr. Gonzalez, or I believe a representative of the applicant is here as well.
That is correct.
I have a question with reference to the paint. I understand that there's a state-of-the-art filter system in the roof, and that the paint does not go down through the floor, but that it will be going up through a filter system, and then it will be going out into the atmosphere surrounding the buildings.
It'll dissipate into
and dissipating. Yes, and I was just wondering if a further explanation of that could be given with reference to EPA requirements, and if there's any sort of situation that we would need to be concerned about.
Well, no, most of that will be taken care of at the plan review process. We'll be requiring all that information from the applicant as part of our review. That information is important and pertinent to actually the approval of the permit itself once it gets issued. I don't have any further detail, specific detail in regards to that, other than to say it will be reviewed as part of that process.
Okay. But I also want to comment that I think that we are very honored to have this business in our community. We're very privileged to think that they have chosen us to build this beautiful facility, and that it's a state-of-the-art in many ways, including this filter system. And we want to thank them for considering us.
Thank you. Yes, and it's actually, from what I understand, it's one of the few in the country.
We have anything else for Mr. Gonzalez? Not, clerk.
Ordinance number 2022-897. An ordinance of the mayor and common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending the town zoning map ZMC 21-005 to change the zoning classification of a 1.95 acre parcel located at the northwest corner of Eastridge Drive and Truewood Drive from Commercial Neighborhood Sales and Services Planned Area Development, C2 PAD, to Commercial Minor Industrial Planned Area Development, C3 PAD zoning, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Thank you, ma'am. Shall this ordinance pass?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Item C, zoning map change, ZMC 21-006, Baja PV Apartments, consideration and possible action, second reading. Mr. Gonzalez. I will be recusing myself for personal and professional reasons.
And I will also be recusing myself for personal and professional reasons.
Mr. Gonzalez, what do you have to say to us?
Thank you, Vice Mayor, Council. Actually, I have no further comment on that unless you have questions and concerns.
Any questions on the council for the Baja Apartments? That being said, will you please read the ordinance?
Of course. Ordinance number 2022-899. An ordinance of the mayor and common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending the town zoning map, CMC 21-006, by changing the zoning classification of Prescott Valley Unit 24, amended Lot 5R, APN 103-36-390A, from C2 PAD, Commercial General Sales and Services Planned Area Development, zoning, to RS-PAD, Residential and Services Planned Area Development zoning, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Shall this ordinance pass?
That passes. Vice
Thank
Mayor.
you. Thank you.
Moving on, item D, zoning ordinance amendment, ZOA 22-001, fitness and wellness spas, consideration and possible action. Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. I have no further information. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer it at this time.
We have anything for Mr. Gonzalez? Clerk, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2022-900. An ordinance of the mayor and common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending sections 13-0210, definitions, 13-1320, use regulations, 13-14-20, use regulations, and 13-2450, off-street parking requirements minimum. In Chapter 13, zoning, of the town code to include fitness, wellness centers, and spas as a permitted use by use permit in the C1 zoning district and a permitted use in the C2 zoning district, defining gymnasiums and making a conforming change to section 13-2450, providing that if any provision in this ordinance is held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, the remaining provisions shall not be affected, but shall continue in full force and effect, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Clerk, shall this ordinance pass?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, zoning ordinance amendment, ZOA 22-002, mobile food vendors, consideration and possible action. Second reading, Mr. Gonzalez.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, I have no further comment, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Clerk, go ahead and read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2022-901. An ordinance of the mayor and common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, adopting by reference that certain document amendments to Chapter 13 of the Town Code, mobile food vendors, declared by resolution number 2022-2236 to be a public record, amending Chapter 13 zoning of the Town Code to provide for the regulation of mobile food vendors operating in the town, providing that all other chapters, articles, and sections of the Town Code not herein repealed or amended shall remain in full force and effect, providing that if any provision in this ordinance is held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, the remaining provision shall not be affected, but shall continue in full force and effect, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Clerk, shall this ordinance pass?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, zoning ordinance amendment ZOA 22-003, tattoo parlors, consideration and possible action, second reading. Mr. Gonzalez.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, I have no further comment in regards to this issue. Be happy to answer any questions you would have. Thank you.
Clerk, go ahead and read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2022-902. An ordinance of the mayor and common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending sections 13-14-20 use regulations and 13-1520 use regulations in Chapter 13 zoning of the town code to include tattoo parlors as a permitted use by use permit in the C2 zoning district and a permitted use in the C3 zoning district, providing that if any provision in this ordinance is held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, the remaining provisions shall not be affected but shall continue in full force and effect, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Clerk, shall this ordinance pass?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Clerk, we're making you work overtime tonight. Great job. Item 10, Microtransit Software Services Award, consideration and possible action. Mr. Rodriguez, welcome, sir.
Excellent. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of the council. I have an item for you for consideration, possible action. Agenda item number 10A for Microtransit Software IT Services Award to Q-Ride. I'm skipping a little bit just to remind you all. So, as part of this Microtransit software that we're purchasing, it's basically the key piece in the service. It's going to bring all the contracted services together, hopefully in a seamless solution. So, as part of this service, it definitely has a mobile app. There's a global scheduling engine and app-integrated real-time dispatch. And what that all means is that you'll be able to request trips within the zone that we've designated, with real-time tracking of drivers, same-day dispatching. Everything is real-time. There's going to be non-dedicated vehicles in the mix, as well as dedicated vehicles, meaning non-dedicated are taxis, and dedicated meaning our contractor. So, and then obviously this, and what's really nice is that this has AI, artificial intelligence, to keep things improving. So really exciting software solution. There was a panel of 5 that we all chose Q-Ride to be the winner of software, Microtransit software. And I'm going to go back to kind of give you the main details of the contract. So Q-Ride, they're also known as HBSS Connection Corp. So our total contract cost will actually be $161,325. There's a I guess I had a couple of clarifications. Previously, you may have seen the number of $126,325, but it is not accurate. It is $161,325. And so there was an increase in the total contract amount due to adding the item to, or basically adding the capability of the software to have our branding information in the Google App Store as well as Apple App Store. So that was that additional cost. And then the other point I'd like to make is that the funding, again, utilized for these services is Federal CARES Act funding. So just wanted to remind you all of that. So this contract is for a 3-year initial contract period with the option of 2 additional 1-year periods. It's as mentioned to you before, it's going to be the key piece in our solution. And so it is our staff's recommendation to the council to approve Microtransit Software Services with Q-Ride agenda item 10A.
Council, do you have any staff or any questions in regard to staff for this?
Thank you for that clarification, Pedro. So the 161,325 is for all 3 years, including startup.
You've got it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anything else?
Mr.
not-
Mayor, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve an agreement with HBSS Connect Corp., also known as Q-Ride, for microtransit software services in the amount of $126,325 by electronic vote.
I second.
Correction to that?
It's 161.
It's one. The amount is
161,325
has been changed.
I do apologize, for $161,325 by electronic vote. Thank you.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, transit system name and logo, consideration and possible action. Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. Second item I have for you is Resolution 2022-2239. As you all have known, we have conducted surveys with the public, and we have decided on a transit system name and logo. So based on the public input, we have decided to move forward with Yavaline Regional Transit System as staff, but definitely seek your consideration and possible action for this item.
We spoke pretty in depth in regards to this, I believe, a week or so ago. Council, we have any additional questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve, to authorize the mayor or in his absence, the vice mayor to sign resolution number 2022-2239, naming and approving a logo for the Prescott Valley Microtransit System by electronic vote.
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Excellent. And then lastly, I just had a couple more slides. So lastly, just wanted to provide you an update with our transit system marketing, incorporating the transit system logo, name. Obviously, as you see here, it's part of the kind of the app and what that's going to look like. We have our transit bus stops. This is kind of some things that we're working toward. Not yet finalized, but just to keep you all apprised. As you see here, you will see Yavapai Regional Transit as one of our partners for transfers at certain locations. Here is another example of a potential taxi company or a non-dedicated vehicle, which will have our insignia or our logo on their vehicles to basically identify to the public that they are part of the transit system. And here are some kind of mock-ups of vehicle system wraps. There will be some changes to these as we're adding a couple different elements. Hopefully, I think we'll get to the right place here pretty soon. But I just wanted to keep you all apprised. And then again, here's my implementation timeline. We're here in the March-April time period, and we have a couple more items to go. Here in April, July, working with the taxi companies, and then final implementation late summer 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Keep up the good work. Moving on, item C, new Prescott Valley Town logo, consideration and possible action. Ms. Foster, welcome.
Okay. Well, after quite a long process and a lot of input from citizens, employees, council as well, we started this project in late 2021. So our logo that we had before has not changed in a couple of decades, and so we contracted with Nicole Rodriguez of John Delano. This is Nicole.
Hello.
And she's been great to help us develop this great new logo. And so this included a brand perception survey, many discussions about what kind of logo would represent our community in a fresh new way. Nicole then took this information to her designers, and after several months and 8 to 10 prototypes, we have arrived at this exciting new logo. So we wanted to say this logo emphasizes the PV for Prescott Valley, which is something we wanted to do is to set us apart from surrounding communities. The colors represent our blue skies, the green that we see after summer monsoons, and the gold wheat color we enjoy the rest of the year. And Glassford Hill is represented with the PV rising above, or PV rising. So that denotes our still growing, vibrant community. And so if you so choose to adopt this tonight, then we'll move on in making this part of all of our marketing for the town. So I'd like to introduce Nicole to see if you had anything to say.
Yes, I'm here to answer questions about the creative process, how I could support implementation, and any feedback that we got from community groups that were reviewed before we move forward with this design and proposed it. Any questions?
Nicole, I just want to say that you did not have an easy task. You're trying to appease many different opinions and many different thoughts. And you originally presented some ideas, and then you shifted gears, and you were very fluid, and you did a great job. I just wanted to say that. So
Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Nicole, I just want to thank you so much. You came a long way, and I happened to show this today at the Chamber Executive Board meeting, and everybody loved it on the board. So Thank you very much. How are we doing on the taglines?
Oh, we got to this point.
Hey, let's just be happy we're here
That's
right
this
now.
point. We'll talk about that another time, but there's excellent options for you guys. Excellent options.
Council, anything else for Nicole or staff?
I think it's an incredible design. Thank you for your efforts. Yes, it's beautiful.
And I'm sure there's going to be many more opinions in regards to this out there. So, with that being said, Council?
I just have a couple.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just going to say, so our next progress will be to begin to implement this. We will be working on the taglines, and our next thing this will go out in the town news for the next month, so I'm sure that we'll get quite a few comments just because, everybody sees things differently. But we're looking forward to the community's reaction. We've had some really great reactions to this. This shows it in the white with any kind of a background. And then, Fatima, if you can go back to the reverse, the black, that shows it on black. And then we also can do black on any other background too. So depending on the marketing materials, we'll have several options to work with that'll still look attractive. So,
great job.
And with that, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the mayor, or in his absence, the vice mayor, to sign resolution number 2022-2242, adopting a new Prescott Valley town logo.
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to our last item, item 11, adjournment.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Can I have a
second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Vice Mayor Hunt?
Oh, sorry.